Today's episode was sponsored by Camo Vodka. To purchase your bottles, go to www.camovodka.com and use our 10% discount code LOYALTY10.
Hey guys.
It's not me. Franco brings that in everyone. Look, everyone's going to be posing soon, you know.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Grapevine Podcast.
Yes, as you can see, me and Shell are here. Mm-hmm. We're looking fresh to death. Mm-hmm. We're feeling fresh to death on this Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a new setup.
Yes.
We have some fresh guests. Can we say something?
Everything's fresh.
No, we don't want to interrupt your intro.
Feeling
okay, that's cool.
fresh
To death. Feeling nice. Long drive to London, but we're here in Haven Talk Studio.
Big up yourselves, man. Do big things. Brand new studio. Really beautiful.
Yeah.
As you walk in, very warm, friendly, and you've just got a nice little setup.
Nice ambiance.
Yeah, perfect, intimate, nice decor. So yeah, big up Haven.
Yes, big up Haven. And big up our guests. Let them know who you are.
I'm your boy, Cardo. I represent the Great Syndicate. That's my business. Obviously, we own our own media studio as well. And you could catch me on Talk Your Truth podcast. You're doing that too early. I'm meant to do it at the end.
No.
You can tell them who you are.
Yeah, that's where you can catch me in it. So like I said, I'm your boy Cardo, and thank you for having me, girls.
It's
No
nice.
problem. Do you want to give them your Insta and all that as well?
Oh yeah, you can catch me at Cardo with a K, KARDO_SG on all platforms, or at the Great Syndicate on all platforms. So.
Go get it, guys. Go get it, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
We're going to move swiftly over to Are You Feeling Special?
I feel like
You think you was going to come here and we weren't going to say that? We weren't going to open it up with that? Nah.
I feel like I just ripped that off a little bit. This is how we're feeling fresh.
Yeah. You've hyped us up.
Oh, God,
Mr. Are You Feeling Special? Tell them who you is.
Yeah, so V Champagne, social media V Champagne. And basically, got a corporate law background, and then I worked in private wealth, and basically I'm building an institution to make ordinary people be extraordinary and improve the relationship with money and wealth. So yes, your viewers at home, everyone's feeling special. So to the viewers at home, I hope you're feeling special.
You got ad-libs on that one.
That's the best. You know what? That's the best
Can we do
one.
that again? But can we harmonise?
Oh, if you want, of course you can. I got bass.
We're going again.
Here we go. We take it high, you take it low.
Yeah.
Go.
I hope you're feeling special.
Oh, dear.
Jesus.
They got to be feeling special now. Innit, Grapeviners? You've got to be feeling special. But yes, as you know, we're sponsored by Camo Vodka. Camo Vodka.
The bottles, the pouches, go and get them online, guys. www.camovodka.com. Camo Vodka, all one word, on Instagram.
Yes.
10% off with loyalty10, all in uppercase.
Discount code. Go get them. And big up Dillion. I don't know why I keep
Michelle's
calling that name.
Renamed him as Dylan Duffus. Our Dylan. So yeah, big up Dylan as well.
Was this stuff that was at your show?
No. So we had.
So you just brought up some controversy.
Innit? So Cardo came to our live show back in December the 3rd. But we had different sponsors then, so that's who he's referring to.
What was the live show?
Oh, so we did a live podcast show in Birmingham. So it was us, joined on stage by some guests. Big up Raising Boys to Men.
Yeah.
Big up Ginge. He was doing a bit of hosting in the crowd and a bit of comedy as well.
Yeah.
So whatever we were speaking about on the stage, Ginge would be in the crowd with a microphone going around getting the views from and the perspectives from the crowd, which was really nice.
Making them feel special.
It was a really good
you
show.
liked
it.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it was a really good show. That was the first time I met you lot, obviously.
Yeah.
So it was really entertaining. You got to do it again.
We are doing it again.
We are.
We are doing it again. We're doing it very close
Coming
to home.
to a town near you.
Wow.
We're doing it in the big London.
We are. The next one will be in London.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow. Guess I'm gonna be there.
You have to be there.
You'll both be there. Y'all both be there.
Yeah. Send me the invite. Definitely, man, definitely.
But yes, guys, you know, we always start up with a little warm up, and we always let everybody try our vodka. Are you drinking today?
I'll have one. But I'm on a I'm on a quite strict diet, but I can have one. For the special ones, I can have one.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't even ask.
Okay. Yeah. When you said bashment, should have known. Should have already known.
Pick your flavour, Cardo. What flavour are you going for?
Oof, give me the red one. Let me try the red. Wait, what are the flavors there?
So we've got those at the front there. So we've got vanilla. We've got the original flavour. I'm not sure the
Tropical. Kiwi.
And kiwi.
What,
Kiwi tropical, and is the vanilla there?
There's
The
vanilla
vanilla's
at the front.
Yeah.
Let's go tropical actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense with the bashment.
Come on now.
What are you going for, Mr. Champagne?
I'm
We
gonna
don't have
go-
no champagne.
I'll go for kiwi actually.
Oh, of course you would. Of course, because you're on a strict diet.
You have a shot, will you? Have some in there.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit. Do the kiwi. Do the kiwi there.
Tropical, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem.
It looks good though. It looks good.
It does.
It's
And it's
good
actually
packaging.
green. There you go.
Oh, give me a bit of that one. I've never tried the kiwi before.
Neither
Wait,
have
hold
I.
on, what? Oh, I might have made a mistake.
I think I might have the kiwi as well.
40%.
Oh my. So, hold on, let me see how you look poured, because
I'm gonna have mine. With
What is it, like a
pizza, though.
Can I have a little
I'm gonna
bit?
Shot it. You shotting yours?
Yeah.
alright, cool.
Are
That's
you?
not bad.
So, yeah, you're going for a shot. We weaken it down.
Well, we're gonna
Shot.
do a shot and answer, but I will do a shot. But you're gonna do y'all are gonna do shot and answer, which will determine whether you need to shot it or not. But I would suggest you shot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done it now, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I can pretend.
Yeah.
Just make sure the packet's facing me so I can see the front.
Then I'll pretend that I'm doing it this way, so that
Yeah.
I can do that.
Don't worry, Instagram is all that video, walk out the door.
Yo, this smells good though, you know.
Was it
This is good.
tropical?
I'm talking to you. I'm like,
Big up my man. What?
there we go. You say it smells good.
It does smell
Yeah.
good, man.
Ooh, smells good. Huh?
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Some flavors.
Yeah, big up Camel Vodka, man. Every
Speak up
time.
Camel Vodka. They really do hit it packaging wise, aren't they?
For sure. Right then, so cheers to our new guests.
So we're not
new
shot and answering?
settings.
She's trying to get busy though.
Oh, yeah.
She said, "Yo, we come down here for party, man."
It's true. You know what? Yeah, sorry.
We got a shot and answer. We got a shot and answer.
A little
I mean,
icebreaker.
yeah, we're gonna give you a look
Cool,
at icebreaker
cool,
and put it to little use. Find out a little
Might
something
as
something
well.
about you both.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's not bad.
No, if you don't want to answer, you shot.
You don't have to. You shot. Okay, cool. Right. So we're getting to know you. So what do you prefer? Okay. Cardo, you've seen us do this at the live show.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not.
I just
bad.
Don't look
Do you
so
know what I mean?
nervous.
No, no,
Oh,
listen,
Shay, the
man.
body like. I might get drunk, you know.
Oh my god, give me the
I might not get drunk now.
Okay, so we're gonna go food first. Jollof or rice and peas?
I know what your answer is. Tropical bashman.
Sorry. That looked all rude and that.
what kind of cause World War III, you know?
You know what I mean? I
Come
can't-
on. Answer or shut it.
Well, we I'm rice and peas straight away.
Rice and peas.
It gets an honorary, man. I do like jollof, but it's rice and peas
Okay.
all day.
Is that because of cultural?
It's
you've
because
grown
it's
up
all
with
day
it and
long.
That's
No,
it.
No, I just
That's
prefer
it.
I do
you just prefer it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a jollof, but I do like rice and peas.
Cool. No shot. Next one.
Right. Next one.
I'm gonna say rice and peas though.
Yeah.
I like
But
jollof
I'm
as
gonna
well.
say-
I
Jollof
like
is
jollof.
very,
It's
very
really
nice.
nice.
It's very
It's
nice.
really nice.
It's very
But
nice.
I have to say rice and peas. Yeah, I have to. But I do really like
You don't
jollof.
have to, but yeah.
No, I
okay.
do because I feel like I've because I've grown up with it. It's just what I'm used to. Innit?
Well, all right, look. Well, we're just getting a bit controversial, isn't it? Because I grew up. My neighbors were Nigerian. Yes, that's how I got introduced to the jollof.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
No, it's dope. It's dope. Now, there's a common argument.
It
So,
is.
no, is it? Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof?
I've not tried Nigerian jollof. I've only tried Ghanaian jollof because that's how I got introduced to it through Ghanaians.
Okay.
So it's the opposite for me. I've tried Nigerian, but not Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. And
I've
I
tried
learned
both.
how to cook Ghanaian jollof.
Which one?
Nigerian. I prefer Nigerian.
Okay.
What about you?
You're gonna say Nigerian because you are Nigerian, innit?
I won't, you know.
Really?
I'd say no. I would say that, but I'm saying it just depends because I've had. To honestly, everyone's got good, but honestly, my mum's cooking is so hard. Like I've only recently, in the last 2 years, gone to Nigerian restaurants and tried.
And cheated on her.
Okay. I've only recently, and it's been around a long time. So I've been Enish a few times. It's all right. It's got the commercial vibe to it. But and I grew up. I have a lot of Caribbean aunties. I grew up with a lot of Caribbean aunties, and it's the same. I've never gone out and had Caribbean food. Because the food's good.
Because how many times, there's times we go to a Caribbean.
Yeah.
You go there and you're just like, but
it's all right.
It's
It's
not
not
home.
like home.
It's not
Yeah,
home. So
it's
it's
not
not
home.
like.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously to make it a bit more commercial, as you said, to cater to everybody.
Because I think there's a stigma on it when you commercialize it, and I think now it's got a lot better now. I think things before, but I think if you to the average like commercial purposes, it's different. It's a bit like the same with I've like few my friends Chinese and some of them are from Hong Kong. I've had their food and they say that they sugar it up for us. So
Yeah.
there's a big
That's
difference.
what I'm saying,
So it's a
Yeah.
home. What they would eat usually is
home.
different.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Gosh, we went deep on that one, boy.
Innit? Just
We
about
go
rice,
deep.
you know. Okay. Right, so next one.
You better go deep on that.
This one's not as deep
Oh,
because we
lad.
don't have the cultural connection with this one. Fish and chips or pie and chips? Keeping it English. We're in England.
That's a hard one. You know.
Really?
No, I do like
I
one
like
thing
both
with me
too.
for British food. I do like chips and I do like pies. I'm a sucker for some British food. You know, I'm not gonna lie, and the custards. I'm gonna be honest. I'll go fish and chips though.
Yeah, I'm fish and chips as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
fish and chips. It's
I know
the
you
one.
like fish and
I
chips
love a
in
fish
your
and chips.
household. You do.
Yeah.
I have to be in the mood for the batter on the fish.
Mm.
I'm not always in the mood for it.
Sometimes oily.
Yeah, and it
yeah.
depends where it's
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I will say pie and chips on this one.
Really?
Yeah, I do love fish and chips, but again, it's where it's from and whatever. Because some fish you get more batter than fish, and it's just like, what have I paid for? Do you know what I mean?
Seaside fish and chips is the one.
Yeah,
Seaside fish and chips.
for real, where you pay £10 for a fish and chip.
I know.
But it's nice and fresh. Right then, okay. This is where we get down and dirty. You might want to pick up your shot glass.
Shot.
Okay. So, talking in the bedroom now. Are we doing
She said this to me in the car. I was like, I didn't crash the car. But okay.
Are we doing standard oral or are we doing a 69? What is your preference? Shot or answer?
I'm gonna shot you there.
Are you serious? You just want to drink.
Shut
Champagne?
it.
Well, you say, what's your preference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
What are you
difficult one.
going for?
I've got
Standard oral. or-
Standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to mix it up. You got to chuck it in the mixer, innit?
Mix and blender.
After you do me, I do you. Be like, all right, let's do it together. So you come first.
To some bashment.
Yeah. Whoever loses, make breakfast.
No, you know what? Whoever loses goes to the bathroom to get the wipes and shit. You're not sitting there
That
resting.
is true.
Well, you know what? That will be a saying. You know, whoever loses does breakfast. We're trying to come quick, you know.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Is that last one?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
wait,
so
no,
there was
what?
just 3.
Oh, so you lot don't answer. No, what do you think this is? What do you think
They
this
say
is?
ladies first.
Oh my God.
No, guess first.
You're a bit bright this morning.
Oh,
Jeez.
I warned you.
No, so you guys don't answer. Honestly, you guys don't answer. You have to answer it.
You smell nice.
They
enough.
answered the other two, you know?
The other two, you know. The viewers at home, they might want to know. Dude. They might want to know.
Oh my God. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say 69.
Oh. Oh, look at you.
Now you've answered, and now I feel like I have
You
to
have
answer.
to, yeah, you do.
What shot?
I want to shot with you guys though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you took yours. You're out of the mix anyway.
Whoever choice, you can still shot. The questions is over to you.
Yeah, the pressure. Yeah. We ain't never getting invited.
Go on.
No, standard oral. Yeah.
Cool.
Right then.
Oh, what
Are we shutting? Yeah. So you're gonna have
You have a bit more?
yeah.
Have a little more than
Get you
kiwi.
the kiwi. We'll still shot to a good episode and happy Easter and all of that.
Yes, all that good stuff. And thank you for joining us today.
Right then. Oh, cheers everybody.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Cheers.
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 That is
It's
good.
strong.
That is
Billion.
good.
Oh, and Dylan's always high.
You
High
say
on his own
Dylan.
supply. Yeah.
What? Flash?
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Flash.
Yeah, he was at our live show as well.
I
Yeah.
remember,
One day.
I
Yeah,
told
so
him
he's our
I said, I
sponsor.
swear that's it. Oh, Flash. It's not even his name. That's good stuff.
big up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
He's our new
nice.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Bless him.
I'll get a few. I might get some for the weekend actually. That's
Yeah,
what
don't
Yeah,
forget
nice.
to use our loyalty
Yeah,
10
yeah,
discount
yeah.
code.
Most definitely.
But
That's
we'll let him know that you liked it.
proper
Yeah, that's
stuff.
good.
Sorry, Franco, can you pass me some tissue, please? I'm full of kiwi. Kiwi
Oh, well,
vodka.
so she turned Franco into our personal assistant.
She's nervous. She got asked that question. Oh, what?
And the joke is, it was her question, you know.
Franco, don't leave, you know. He's mine, you know. Don't leave, you know.
Thank you, Franco. Thank you very
you.
much. Right then, let's get down to it, guys.
Yeah, man. So we brought y'all in for a reason, obviously. So we want to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
And because we got like a little mastermind over there, so you know, on his thing, trying to make you know, doing your thing out here normal. We want to talk on the cost of living, really, and you know how it's affecting you, or you know just how you feel about it in general. Because everyone's going through a little something at the moment, and I think people are making changes in their life
Big time.
due to the cost of living, but we want to talk about the fun changes and the hard changes. And obviously you're over there with your Wealth University. We want you to implement some, you know, some little hacks maybe.
Yeah, see if you've got some gems for us and our grapeviners. They can kind of get an insight into what you do and how it could help us. Do you know what I mean? Because we're all going through the same thing, and I think it's nice for us as women. We can sit here and talk about, we got hard times.
Oh,
this,
yeah.
You know, you know, we're mums, we've got the kids, and we've got to keep up with everything, keep up with the house, the car, the this, the that, and the lifestyle, as well as, but you know, yourselves as men, how do you navigate through life, going through this cost of living as men?
Yeah.
Want your perspective? Do you know what I mean?
Raw. So yeah.
Do I go first? You go first.
First, yeah, you go.
Yeah, so I think obviously it's very, very difficult at the moment. Obviously with the cost of living, I realised when I went into Sainsbury's the other day, and I think things are just going up. Like even the chocolate bar, protein bar, tissue. What was it? Something else that I was looking at? Milk.
I know.
The price of milk.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you could be able to get milk for about £1. I don't know, but so it's very. So I know it's very difficult, and I think one of the key things I'd say, and when we are talking about wealth, and wealth doesn't have to mean about money. So I think one thing I could say to everyone is that as we grow up in the Western world, there are certain privileges that we have that other people might not have the opportunity to, let's say, participate in. And we need to understand that there are people, and it's very, very hard in the world. Like, say we go to Ukraine, we go to other places, we go to some of the Middle Eastern countries, some places in Africa. There's people that are trying to get on the boat every single day so they can get into the UK and participate in just working a reasonable 9-to-5 job. So I think the most important thing, the fundamental thing for me is that as long as you can pay some of your bills, you've got a roof over your head, you have some food in your fridge, we've done well. We've done well. Our standard of living is really high. So we have those things. So the main thing is let's focus on those necessities. You can get to work, you can travel to work. Obviously, electricity is very difficult, but I think we need to just try and focus on those few things first. Be grateful for those few things, and then we can work on getting extra income for the other, let's say, I wouldn't say necessity. So those are the necessities. So when you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food, shelter, your bills are paid. That's good. That's a great thing. So you need to look at, you are winning in that sense. So you are winning there. And just because you can't do, let's say you can't go on holiday, maybe these are extra things. So we just need to be grateful for the necessities that we have at the moment. And we can then figure out how do we get a bit extra to have the holiday, maybe the car and the things. So what's happening now is people are basically, you're going to have to review what you need, what you don't need, childcare. So we always have costs that are important. So what I would say is a number one thing to think about is what costs are necessary. What do I need to survive? What do I need to get on with my day? And then anything extra. So going shopping or things like that, you might not need to do those things. You might have enough clothes that you need. So I think we just need to look at the necessities that we have first, be grateful for those, and then we can move on to work on trying to get extra things. So that will be the take for me.
Yeah. I don't think people realise, do they, that the necessities are important. We think holidays are a priority. It's really put things into perspective, this happening, because we've took a lot for advantage.
Yeah, we have.
We really have.
And it's only since COVID and since the cost of living has, got to the stage it's at now that people are starting to realise, oh my gosh, like I was actually living nice before all of this.
Yeah.
Sorry to chime in there. It's like what he says. I feel like sometimes we take what we have for granted. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that the cost of living it's a pain in the ass. You understand? And I do sympathize. Like I hear certain people. Well, let me say this. From the way it affects me, and I can still get on with my life. I always say, oh, that's gone up, but I can still get on with it.
Yeah.
You understand? So you don't really take note. Sometimes you listen to what other people are going through, and you think, you know what? Like that's tough. That's tough. You understand? So I'm really blessed. And when I'm complaining about the little things, the cost and price of certain things.
Yeah.
And then I look at some people really thinking, I got my rent gone up and my mortgage gone up, like, and my wages haven't. How do I get there? You understand? So it does make you realize. But again, they cover the necessities. So even to those like he said, as long as your needs are covered, everything else becomes kind of disposable. So first of all, for the mental aspect, understand that you're from a place of privilege. Yeah. From a mental aspect, tell yourself that at least you can still feed yourself. At least you can still, because you go visit. How many times we've been on a holiday to all these other countries, and you don't just stay in the hotel, but you go out and you see how people are living.
How people can live. The poverty hits you, innit, in some places.
This is it.
And you think, whoa.
I spoke to my friend at work, and his family live, I'm pretty sure, they say South Africa. Is it South Africa? I don't want to misquote, but I think it's there. And he's saying that sometimes for like long hours a day, they go up without electricity.
Yes.
Now, for
There's
me,
a lot
that's
of places like
if
that,
the power cut happens
they
in my
switch
house
it off.
for 10 minutes, I'm like, what the hell is
It's
going
a problem.
on? I'm straight away on Google like, yo, what's happened?
Not even that. It's not even that. It's just no Wi. Have you ever had no Wi-Fi and people go ballistic? Like, what? There's no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like,
You understand?
Yeah.
ballistic.
It's going to inconvenience
You
us for
lose
10 minutes.
if the water is lukewarm, where's my hot water? Don't play with me. I'm straight out the shower with the bubbles, looking at the boiler. Pressure's low. Well, go on. You understand?
It's true. It is true.
It is a pain in the
It makes
ass,
us realise how privileged we are, but we never realised it was this
Because
bad.
things like hot water, they're available every single day. And
on tap.
Yeah. I'll give you a joke,
literally,
though.
I like the pun. But we don't expect it to not be there ever.
That's true.
So when it's gone, it's like, whoa.
Oh, go
like
ahead.
I'll never forget like the first time that a fuse had gone. on me. I phoned my mum. I couldn't get through to her. I went to phone the electric company. I was like, what's happened to my house? I'll never forget that moment.
And they're like, chiming you out, this bitch.
My brother was in stitches because of the fact that it was like, well, how can you not know? Like, how can it panic you to that? Do you know what I mean? To that extent. But yeah, I didn't realise like a fuse had gone, and obviously it trips out certain things in the house. I was like, what's going on? No, it's mad. But people live like that all the time.
It was funny, like you said. You said even the fun side, and I mean, there's nothing fun about the price going up. Like, but I tell you what, it does make you like think on, because I got kids. I don't know if you look at kids, but
Yeah.
a certain time I went out with my son the other day, and so sometimes my daughters they'll call and say, "Oh, Daddy, can I have this?" And I'm like, yeah, of course you can have that. And then they send it to you or whatever. You see the price, like, what's?
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
You say, I remember when that used to be, and straight away as soon as I said, I remember my mum used to say that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
So the not the fun side, but the sentimental side is like, I remember listening to my mum and my grandma saying, you remember when this used to cost? And as a child, I'm like, yeah, but that's then. I would think what it used to cost. And now my kids are like, yo, I bought a bouncy ball, one of them little air floater balls. It was £14 over there. I was looking at my son.
£14?
Like, brother,
Oh my gosh.
I can make this, elastic bands in there if you want it. But like I said, it gives you the sentimental, like, I see mum, girl, I hear you now.
No, it is true.
You.
I mean, when we say the fun side, we're saying like, the going out, the socializing side, even the dating side, like, or if you're in a relationship, like your date nights and stuff like that, does it make you restructure and think about how you're going about those type of things?
Because how is it for you men? Like, because you're usually the ones who will initiate the dates if you're interested in a woman. So when you initiate in the date now, are you thinking in your head, might have to be a Nando's flex, or are you, do you know what I mean?
Or
Like,
drinks,
how are you thinking
only.
It's not necessarily going to be a Hakkasan? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well,
So
depends
how
how
do
you view
you
dates, I think, anyway.
say it again?
I think it depends how you view dates.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I don't always, like, I know, but not just that we're diving off the cost of living, but in dating, I just don't think I always have to bring, if I just met you, I don't always feel like I have to bring you to the top end places.
That's true.
I mean, because then if you're just doing that for everyone, then it's no longer special for when you meet them.
Yeah, of course.
You understand?
No longer special.
That's just my opinion. Like, I'm a very simple guy. I like to get to know you.
Yeah.
One of my good friends said the same thing to me. We had this conversation not long ago, and he was saying about dating. And he was saying that when he met his partner now, like they went on the standard dates. I mean, they do big things now. They're all over the place, in nice restaurants every minute. Do you know what I mean? Big holidays. But when they first met, they had standard dates. He says he knew that she had something about her, but he didn't want her to kind of look at him in a certain way, like this is how it started off, so it's going to maintain
Continue
like that.
way.
So he's in his head, he's like, date small first, see where it goes. If this person is special, then they can earn that big date at the end. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
No, but
So
in times you've been on, I've been on like a simple first date. We're gonna call it like the first few days. I've been on simple ones, bowling. You know what I mean? Little. You know what I mean? Just I've gone for a walk on the Thames. You understand? Just getting to know. You
I
understand?
think that's the
but
flex.
those are more intimate and they're beautiful because
right.
it's
It
not
is.
about the aesthetics and everything and the
It's
let's pose
actually
here,
getting
let's
to know
do
the
that.
person,
thoughtful.
which is
It's
what
the-
the restaurant vibe does,
it's-
doesn't it? It takes away from that, because I feel like
is
everyone
it.
just turns up with their best face on and gives it all of that.
I've done that on a flip side. I've done it the first day where I found this plush place. It's nice. Went there. You understand? I'm saying I'm feeling this girl. I've gone there, done all of it, spent loads of money, which is I'm comfortable spending it.
Yeah.
You understand? Went away from the date. She was happy, but I was vexed. Not because I spent the money, but because I didn't enjoy nothing in there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't enjoy it. Now you go now back to cost of living. Now, that same spot,
Yeah.
you're joking if you see me. You understand?
So it
But-
would change that for
but
you
you
then.
understand? So when you're thinking like the higher end things, like I said, it depends how you date. If I'm going high end, I'm going high end to somewhere I like,
Yeah.
and it has to be. And there's very rarely places I like that are high end. Like even they give me like a piece of bread and two. I ain't feeling me, bro. But the date's for us, not for you.
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
got to be something you
Yeah.
both enjoy.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
conversation you should kind of have before.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I suppose when you're getting to know somebody, if they tell you what they do for a living or they tell you their circumstances, I've got kids, I've got this, I've got that, you can kind of piece together in your head what their standard is.
Yes, true.
Do you know what I mean?
Real talk.
Because I know I can,
Yeah.
and I suppose you can when a woman speaks to you.
But it must cause extra stress, like the cost of living for like men
It
that,
would.
I mean, they feel the pressure too, especially in this day and age where like I feel like
Women
to, like,
kind of expect to have this expectation.
everything's money. People are lying about how much they're making. People are,
Yeah.
you understand?
I don't understand that.
But I feel
That
like
I don't get.
haven't we got to a point of realness now? Because even we were saying on the radio on Tuesday, you were saying about your friend and they were going on their date, and then basically they would both
Yeah.
express to each other we're skint. Like,
Yeah, so they had
it
a
ain't
first
gonna be a
date.
big. It's not gonna be a big thing.
Exactly, and they were both comfortable with just linking up, taking their dogs for a walk, and then going back and doing the Netflix and chill with some snacks. This is a colleague of mine that came to me and said they'd been on a first date, and I was like, that is so sweet, you know, because it's one of those things that you can go in as your own self, like your true self, and feel comfortable. If that's how you start, then
Because I feel like
it's
you
a good
hold
way.
back from that information for a minute.
For a minute,
When
sometimes
you
you can.
just text someone.
But I feel like that's not the right person. Then, if you're gonna lie about how much you earn or whatever, and try and come off as something completely different to what you are, that's not the one. Because for me, I need to. If I'm gonna take it further with somebody, I need to know I can feel comfortable talking to them about anything and being honest and showing my true self. I shouldn't have to feel funny about saying I'm having a hard month this month, or I can't afford to go out, baby. Let's just chill.
Yeah.
I know I could do that in certain situations with certain people, but there's other people I'd feel funny about because I'd think, oh my God, they're going to judge me. I know that's not the one.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Do you feel that as a woman?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But has it made you restructure finances or start writing stuff down or take away anything from what you would normally do?
That's how I normally live my life.
Yeah.
So like for me, I always structure like my finances. So I like in my notes in my phone now, it will tell you what I've got to pay for next month.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? So
Makes
I
sense.
already know this is coming out. This is how much I'm gonna take in. How much have I got left to play with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand? So I do that normally. Obviously, things going up, you gotta readjust.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's something you should do
Anyway.
regardless. And after a while, once you go for a few months, I start looking at things like, do I need this? I try to cut outgoings. Can I cut this out? Do I necessarily? If I can't, then we need to increase
hear
income.
that.
But if
Yeah.
not, you understand?
Because
So,
pays aren't going up like that
yeah,
for you
they're
to
not.
accommodate.
Hence all the strikes.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Mr. Champagne?
I think
He might just have to change his name, you know, from Champagne
I know, boy. This ain't the time to
Champagne
Lambrini.
to Lambrini, yeah, because the way cost of living is. Depot! No, I'm playing.
Yo,
Prosecco.
Prosecco.
no, I think personally, I think it's very difficult, and I think for me, I've always lived my life a certain way, and it doesn't matter if something's happened. Like I just have my budget, and I do what I want to do. And I'll be honest, I'm a very simple person. I'm a very simple guy, and the problem is I don't mind. I know I can survive on a certain amount, so I don't do, because I work so much, and it's difficult to how I want to explain it is that I just have a certain standard. Like I'm grateful if I just have food in my fridge. I can get about to work, need to be. I've got my transport sorted, bills are paid. I'm good. I'm actually I'm happy,
yeah.
and I just live in that mindset.
Yeah.
And then anything else extra, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to look at life. And if you can look at life like that, and the reason why is very important, where we have to have this good relationship with ourselves and self-help, is because if you go to some of the poorest countries in the world, right? And I've done this. I've been to some countries in Egypt, Africa. I've been around the world. I've traveled a lot. I've worked in other places. And what I think is very, very important for individuals is we need to understand what we want to do, what works for you, because what works for him might not work for you. And the problem we have with social media, which is a lot of it is fake at the same time, is that we have people worrying about other people and other people and other people, and then you're gonna continue on this spiral of trying to keep up. We call it keeping up with the Joneses. It's a very old saying.
It is.
But that's where we are. So I think for example, it's not about you can go. I always say to people, right, especially in different cities, the commercial restaurants, for example, like your big restaurants, we go to Mayfair. The reason why they're expensive is because they've got a big commercial lease. So they're renting. So their rent for that building is expensive. So the food is going to be a bit fancy, and obviously you've got Michelin star and other things, but you're paying for the leasehold. That's why it's so expensive. And it doesn't necessarily mean the food's the best, because I always say to people, you can go to a normal restaurant, which you can go anywhere in the world, you can find someone else's food and you can go and eat there, and it could be authentic. So I always say go for things being authentic rather than going for the brand, because when you have a restaurant, what they usually do is either an individual or there's a corporate who has got loads of money, it's other people's money. They're going to lease that building. They've got a brand, they've got a process, and you're just paying for the lease. So you want to go, you can go to someone I don't know, you can go to Dave down the road. You can go to someone who's Muslim that has their own restaurant that's just moved here, and you're going to get the most authentic food. So for me, and with dating, I'm in a relationship, but at the beginning stage, and I would say to her, yeah, I can take you to all these other stuff, but when you want to get an authentic experience, I know how you can get authentic Lebanese food. We go to Northwest London. We can get authentic Indian food, proper. I'm going to go take you to East London, the proper thing. You're going to get the taste, and you're going to get, and the restaurant's nice. It's a good experience. So there's so many authentic experiences that you can have for further the price rather than following other people. So I just think it's very, very important that understand what you want. And I think we live in a world now where other people's opinions, and you might see something on socials and you might think is great. And I've seen something on socials, and I've been to the restaurant, and it's not as good in person. So it's you see something, but they can program it. You see it all the time. It's just marketing all the time, and then you're going to go and do that. So I think just focus, try and figure out what you want. I think every single person in this world, when you're alone, I always say it to someone, when you're alone, you have your own thoughts. And you can never, ever talk to someone else. So you know what it feels like when you're sitting alone and you look in the mirror. You know what that feels like. It doesn't matter what you post. So we all have that. So when you're alone by yourself, that's when you're going to make the best decisions, and just think to yourself. And sometimes you might have to get rid of some friends. You might have to, because you need to establish what is, because some people have, what the problem is, a lot of people have relationships, and people have different relationships in their life. You have a work relationship. You have a friend that you knew growing up. You have I call it an associate relationship. So you have people that
different levels, isn't it?
Different levels. So you need to understand in your circle which friends are who. This person might be here because you guys go out. And I explain this to a lot of people I mentor, and I explain to them that you have they say, oh, this is my great friend. I'm like, you only know each other because you go to the same university. I say, when you finish, your friends are going to change, but they won't know that. And they're like, oh, you're so right, it changed. Yeah. Or you might know each other because you work. You're in a circumstance for each other, and then you're going to test that when you leave. So I say, when you leave that, say I leave a workplace, am I still friends with the person? Yeah. That's when you can test the relationship. So, and the same thing with your school friends. You're only friends with each other because you're in the same proximity, you're in the same area, you went to school together, but you can build those good relationships. But after school, when you leave, so everyone develops. So that's where you know where your relationships are. So I think we need to understand who we are as a person. And people always ask me about my relationships, and I say that I am my own best friend, because I have my own thoughts. I speak to myself more than anyone else. So you need to be your own cheerleader. Yeah. And then anyone else that comes in, as long as you're good with yourself, if they go in, because people come and go, but you need to feel okay with yourself. So I think it's just having the self-love, and I think that works. So just have more self-love, because with the younger generation, and we just need to have just just practice that. Maybe take some time off social media. Don't be on all the time. Like sometimes you can do something like walk into the park, playing football, because it's a different generation. For me, I'm lucky because I grew up without socials and I grew up with socials. So I know what life was like before.
Yeah.
Like we used to play football in the park for the whole day. And then we'll play computer games in an evening. But we were doing that, and that was that's the best time. But now sometimes it's difficult to get someone to go park and play football. It's like, I've got the game in here, and then it's hard. But at the same time, it's a good thing. If you can, now you can game, you can make money online. So you have to just, there's a yin and yang with everything. But I think we need to try and get out into the real world, because the social world it doesn't, like I always say, what's internally affecting you, social media is external. So sometimes you might see protests here in that city, but what's happening to you when you go outside your door? Because sometimes it can get feelings. So just figure out what you want to do, and then everything else is a bonus, I think.
No, it's right. It's right. People have lost that element, haven't they, of realness in their own life. And I feel like this situation is definitely going to help. It's like lockdown. People had to sit down with themselves and understand their circumstances, the people they're around. Yeah.
For real.
They stopped talking to certain people, relationships broke up, family members stopped. It just made people realise a lot of stuff.
Because reality hit, that's why.
Exactly.
Reality hit in a lot of ways. People were losing their jobs.
And I think
people were under a lot of pressure. People were losing people
in
their lives
as well. Exactly, that too.
Like,
everyone was scared of like, am I going to live?
And I think lockdown as well, it taught you that the government said your internal, I've always said this to people, your internal family is who you live with every day. And I always say to people, like, life is actually a movie if you really think about it, because my day, I might go out for 12 hours. I have a movie. I leave my house, get to work. A madness might happen. A car crash might happen. Whatever. You got to get to work. Got to deal with so much stuff. Then I'm going to come home. So I live that movie. You come home. You might see your girlfriend or partner. They had their day. Then you come back and reunite for 2-3 hours. So you lived your movie today and my movie today, but no one understands that. And the reason why they put it in, the reason why the government said internal household, because you live with them every day. But obviously we have conversations with aunties, so they said, no, that's your bubble. So whoever you live with every day is going to have the most influence on you. Everything else is external, and you have to take it to, who do I live with? So some people live with flatmates. They're actually more closer to you than maybe your parents, because they don't. Your parent, you might check in with your parents every weekend, but they're living. You're living your life every day with them. They're seeing you go out. They're seeing you if you're upset. So I always say we all have our own movie, and we have to like establish who we're living with day to day. When we go out, my day is different to your day. We come back sometimes. So when I go out, I have a long day. Then we catch up. Say I catch up with my girlfriend, and she told me about her day. I said, bam, 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 bam. So I'm like, okay, I listen to her. Like, okay, how you feeling, bam? And then tell me my day. Then that time we're back together. We're back to that bond again. But then we go out into the world. So if you think about it, you work 7 to 8 hours a day. You're having a movie every single day, and that's how you have to view it. And I think, and if you can view it that way, when you get back home, you can start realizing it's such a busy world. We have different things going on. So I think we are living in a movie, and we need to figure out, okay, how do we make that movie better next week or the other day? Because you have a good day. And I always say, just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you're having a bad life. Because some people, they'll have a bad day and they'll be like, oh, my life is crap. No, it's just a few hours.
Even a bad situation.
You're going to finish work and then you're going to go home and you're going to be fine. But people are like, oh, I hate my life. Something might happen bad at work. I said, it's just work life. You're going to go home. So please, if you're having a bad day, doesn't mean you're having a bad life.
Work does affect you. And really I always say that people don't understand outside your bubble of workmates. So, you know, when you come out of work and you start moaning about work to other people, they're like, and you can hear that they check out of the conversation at some point because it don't mean shit to them. Not compared to the people at work. When you go to the work, you're like, oh my God, this happened, and they get it because they get the dynamics of it. But when you talk to people outside it, they do check out in there and they're like, yeah, okay, then don't speak to that
We've got now, in this world, we have friendship groups that there's some people that they rather hang out with their workmates than hang out with the people that they don't know because they're getting their problems, they don't understand. So when you finish, you just have to check out. I know it might be stressful, you need to just check out spend time when you get home. So even your kid has a movie. Your kid goes to school.
Yeah.
So think about it. Your kid comes home.
We don't understand that, do you though?
Well, but your kid might have a bad day in school.
My daughter makes it known when she's not had a good day. We've got this thing, where when I pick her up, we do 2 positives and a negative about our day, both of us.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Right. So we've always done that. Now, I always say to her, get the negative out of the way first. Tell me one bad thing. And she always, and it's sometimes I can tell when she's had a bad day.
Yeah.
Mum, can we do our positives and negatives? Mum. All right. So we'll get that done. But I can tell as soon as I pick her up, she doesn't even have to say, and she'll get rid of the negative. And I'll right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we could have made that different or whatever. How could we do to resolve it? Because at the end of the day, kids need to learn problem solving from a very, very early age, because they can't keep coming to us, because otherwise we're just enabling them to be adults. Adults that just keep coming and coming and coming. So that's one thing we do all the time. And then I always say we keep the positives till last. We get them out of the way so that we end the conversation on a high. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because she beats herself up. She's very, very hard on herself, and she gets very upset and angry about things. I'm like, no, we got. So that's something that I've been doing for about 2 years with her now. For about 2 years, because it's difficult. Like you've just said about people that take it to heart when they've had a really bad day at work, and it's like, no, you can just come home and switch off from that. Yeah, you've got to go back there in the morning.
You've got to make that choice, though. You have to make the choice to switch off.
Not everybody can,
but you have to, because then your work life is spilling into your home life. Your home life,
and it can affect
it's just
everything.
an ongoing thing.
It's a snowball, isn't it? So you do have to try and separate it. But when I know, there'd be times when we'd come to each other after on radio on a Tuesday, and we both knackered from a hard day at work, or somebody pissed us off. And I don't know about you, but radio cheers me up a little bit. It does. And it kind of
because it stops us, because at 6 o'clock we have to tell them, we're like, oh my God, and we literally go online, either vex or pissing ourselves about something that's happened in the day. But it helps you to switch off, because everybody else is listening to you now. And this is the time to actually give them some positivity, because you don't realize how much people take you in, and how much energy makes a difference.
And that's therapy. And the reason why I mention that is because this can affect relationships. So if you're at work, and I've seen it, and this is where affairs and things happen, because you can be at work and then you can have, say you have a boss that's annoying you, right, for example. Then you're going to come home and you're going to feel that pressure, and then you're going to bring that home to your kids. So one thing that's important that I want to mention, and with Wealth University, there's a lot of things about mindset that people don't understand, but I'm going to really simplify it. But there's a thing called ecological theory, ecological system theory. And basically it is, with children, self-esteem is built between 1 and about 8 to 9. That's where it's for kids. And it's very important, and it's because we're talking with parents, it's very important that a child can detect different feelings and emotions from their parents. So the system starts for your home first. What happens at home is the first system. So when kids go to school, people always ask what's happening at home. That could be the first trigger. And then what happens outside the ecological system, which is friends, school. So going to school. Then there's work. So your parents, so what happens is if you go to work sometimes, you might be stressed at work. If you come home and you're stressed, say you have an argument with, let's say your partner, your kid will associate your work with the argument. Because when he goes to work, he comes home, he's always like, so it must be work. I don't like my mother or dad working. They associate it with it. So the reason why it's very important to switch it off is because when you come back into your home environment, you're going to bring that energy back to, and a lot of people need to figure out how to separate. Even if you're stressed, when you get home, you have to kind of detach, because you're going to bring it into your household, and then your kid can associate your work as why you guys are arguing. And sometimes someone can come home in a bad mood, then you come home, you bring that home. Let's say you bring it to your person, or your partner comes home in a bad mood. It changes the dynamics of it. So a lot of things people do, go gym, go different things. And I'm not saying you're going to feel good all the time, but sometimes it's learning to detach your work life. And I have something on TikTok where it says your personal life and your work life should match. You can't have both. You either have you can have a stressful personal life then you and your work life, you can't do both. So your personal life, you try and keep that as peaceful as possible, and your work life can be crazy. It will work. But if your personal life and your work life don't match, and another thing is that when we talk to externals, sometimes like people have problems, but when you talk about problems a lot, so we have friends, we have external people, and if you have a conversation with someone and they go through all of their problems, when you listen to that conversation, you might have had a good day to go gym, and then you're gonna go back, and then you're gonna get the problems, and this way, and that's the reason why the news channels, and I'm gonna get controversial, but news is actually built for viewings and ratings. And they always give you negative. Have you ever watched the news and the news is, there's one day I watch the news. I don't watch the news anymore. I catch up on my updates. But there was one time and the news was just normal. And I was like, what's going on? There's nothing bad in the world going on. There is nothing, and you're drawn to the negative energy. But the news channels they know what they're doing, because they'll have a bulletin. If you read, when you watch the news next time, there's a bulletin that will tell you this has happened. And if you got to think about it, it's reactionary, but you're going to trigger an emotion. So understand that bad shit happens around the world effectively, but it's not in your house, but you might bring that energy to your house. And then and that's how things go. So sometimes you need to think about when you get information, like understand that. And one way you can do it, and this is why I say it's important with the thought process, is you can say, that's bad, and I really feel bad, and hopefully that person can be okay. And then but you have to detach it. Okay, let me sort out my life. So it's always important to sort your life out first before you can help other people's life. And one thing I say to people is that we can't save everyone. We can't. Save yourself first, and then save other people. But people try and do the opposite, and then that's where we get problems. And they think about themselves.
That's where they lose themselves.
Yeah. It's facts, isn't it? Because I was speaking to someone about parenting before. And I was saying, in order to be a good parent, and not just a good parent, good partner, good brother,
all rounder,
or whatever, you have to focus on yourself first.
Yeah.
So you come first in every situation, because you can't give someone the best if you can't give yourself the best version of yourself.
I like that. It's true. You do. And you have to work towards it, though, because I think people don't realise it. People don't process the fact that they do need to put themselves first. They think they can actually save everybody, do everything, keep on top of all this. Especially, I think men go through it a lot because I don't think they have the emotional outlet, so they don't really let it out the way women do. We will let it out. We will talk about it. We'll say, oh, this is wrong and this is wrong and that. And we'll try and solve each other's problems. But men don't actually let it out as much as we do. And you internalise it. And a man can be paying the bills, look after his family, look after this, doing that, doing this, doing that, doing this. And then, because I've noticed it lately, you see a lot of men working some mad hours, no time out, no time to themselves, no sleep time, just work, especially if they're single. They're just working and working and working and working.
Because they feel like, well, I might as well earn the money because I'm not going home.
Well, what are you doing for your emotional state and for your mindset?
And for your well-being?
Like, growing up, it's as simple as growing up is as a boy, even simple as me falling on the floor and hurting my knee or my elbow. I get told, get up, don't cry, be a man, you're tough. You understand? So as a child, we're told you can't even let that emotion out. You understand? So when you grow up, you with your partner, and you're feeling vulnerable. But I mean, we feel vulnerable sometimes. You know what I mean? And you're feeling down. Your woman walking in the room. Like I'm tough, you understand? So like I said, but that stems from whereas if your daughter drops on the floor now, don't cry, you're right, princess, you understand? And I feel like that happens a lot, you understand? We carry it into our older life, and I think that's why and then when in your older life it gets projected so much, even worse, you understand? So that's why I feel like we won't express it as more. We just hit it hard. And naturally, it breaks down everything. Yeah. And it's because the communication is lost. Yeah. You understand? So. It's mad. It is mad. But I think that is the key, though, is that is self-worth and making sure you're good inside and inside out. And I think after others. And
you can't pour from an empty cup, can you?
Exactly.
And I think the problem we have, especially in the black community, and these other guys, I think they're called the 4112 men. They do another podcast about black men talking about, and I went to one of the events about Men Don't Cry.
Yeah.
It was a really, really interesting
Sounds
event.
powerful still.
Yeah, and what I learned when I went to this event, especially, I realized that a lot of the problems we have is from trauma. And this hasn't been established a lot, because a lot of the time with therapy is available, it's quite expensive for therapy as well.
It is.
And it's available in other communities. So for example, predominantly, well, minority in this country, but a lot of therapy when you do this as well. And I speak with my girlfriend, she's trained to be a therapist effectively, and she knows a lot, and we have conversations, and a lot of the time there's trauma in the family. And I went at this event, there was a 19-year-old kid, and he said that he thinks he's something wrong with him because his parents don't show him any love at all. And I'm like, don't they ever say anything? They said, no, they're always moody around me. They've never ever said good job, nothing. So he felt there was something wrong with him.
Yeah.
But then I had to probe, and I said, well, how many? She said he's got older brothers to do the same thing as sisters. It's a pattern. He's got a little sister, so he was worried about whether does he have to take her and move out because he don't want the same thing to happen with her. And I said to him, maybe your parents have a trauma that they might not have had this. And there's a thing called attachment theories. So basically, and trauma. So when you go through childhood, you can end up doing the same thing that your parents done to you. So I said they might have gone through trauma and they don't know how to show love. And then he further probed. He said, you know what? Thinking about that, yeah, my grandparents they never showed them love from the Caribbean. They're very tough.
Oh gosh.
So I said, no, I said the problem is not you. Is your parents might have a trauma that they can't show you love, but no, you're doing good. Obviously, you found church and stuff. So I said, I speak to him, and still to this day, I say, look, don't worry, you're gonna have to do these other things. It's not easy, but you know you're good. So that's a mentorship I had because I had to establish. And he said, you know what, I feel much better now that I understand it. But at first, he was thinking no, and that is how you can get a kid going and doing a madness. Like he could go and do something on the road. He could do something crazy because of that. Because there's no, and he won't care. And that's where you have the biggest fear. So I think a lot of the time there is a lot of things. There's a lot of traumas that we've gone through, and we're gonna have to try and address. And with that event, it was like they said men don't cry, and we're going through a lot of things. And there was a lot of trauma, and I had to speak to a lot of people. I said, no, you've been through trauma. There was another gentleman. She went through a pregnancy like 2 weeks ago, and then he said that the pregnancy happened. He couldn't cry because he said that it was a hard pregnancy. He said that she wasn't pushing it out, and she could have died. And he said that he could see the baby coming, but he couldn't tell her how much blood was going on. And he had to like hold it down. They delivered the baby, and then they said that 3-4 hours at the end, all his sisters had to calm the whole family down. And he said that, and then he cried at the event. He said, this is the first time I cried.
Never cried the whole time.
He didn't cry the whole time for 2 weeks, and he said that he didn't want to feel like a man. I said to him, no, you've been through trauma. Like that is not a normal pregnancy, and now that might prevent you. You might have your second child, and you might think. I said, no, that's not a normal pregnancy, and he might attach it that way. So I think sometimes, and I told him, and he felt better. He said, I said, no, you went through trauma. You can cry for that. And he said he had to hold it. He said at the end he was able to, but he said that at that time he couldn't. He had, and that's a trauma that he's going to have. That's your first pregnancy. So I think we all have traumas in life, and I think we just have to talk about them, try and address them. Therapy is a one way, or talking to someone else about it. And I think that's what we go. So we all go through trauma, like through our life. There's been something that's happened. You might not get a job. You might be in a workplace. You're always doing something. You
just don't identify it as trauma, do we?
No, we don't.
And sometimes you do need someone from outside to look in and say, you've been through some shit. You know, it's not you. It's not this. They need explaining.
It doesn't actually become apparent until you get into a relationship, you know, and then your partner can see, and they're like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, I feel like we've all been there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? For different reasons. But it is about just trying to heal in your own way. Not everybody goes down the same journey with the healing. And it can take people some people longer
It's a
than
different
others.
journey, identifying the fact that you need to heal from
Yeah.
something as well.
It is. But no, really touched on some really deep stuff there, actually.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have,
We've
you know.
gone
On the cost of
Cost of
living.
living.
to trauma.
We're living.
How did we get here?
I know. But you know what? It's good.
It's
This
been
is what
really
we
nice.
like. This is what we like. And on that note, I feel like we should kind of like touch on some motivational
Positive.
music
Let's get
as to what's getting you through your
The yin and the yang, that's what you have.
Let's get to our music section. We like to always finish off on this positive
Turn it
note.
up.
So this point, Grapeviners, if you're a new Grapeviner, then you might not know, but this is our music section we do towards the end of the show. We
Wanna
just
put your song
acknowledge our guests and we ask them what is getting them through their week.
Yeah.
How, what kind of music is giving them life. So Mr. Champagne's going to go first.
Oh, you got to select the song.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna play it.
Oh.
Do you want to introduce it?
What is this?
This is my guy Savvy, actually. Hard song. The song is so hard. But
So
yeah,
this
it's called
is someone you know?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
His name's Savvy Slide On, and is like a mixture of Kendrick. It's hard. It's so hard. So yeah, I'm bumping this all the time, and yeah, this
Bit
is
of
my
free promo for you, Sam.
No, I'm an honest person. The song's hard. That's what I'm bumping. It's actually motivational, but there is a bit of trauma when you listen to the lyrics properly.
Okay.
But it's a very good song.
Savvy.
I hear the
Sounds
Kendrick
nice.
though.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
it.
It's nice.
Does sound like Kendrick.
It's the chorus.
No, it's not like that.
Is it explicit? Is it explicit? Like lyrics?
Hold on.
No, it's not. It's just
Okay, so we can probably play it on our radio.
Just
By
go
the
on.
way,
Go on.
hot92.net every single Tuesday, 6 till 8 p.m. Guys, tune in.
Yeah,
You'll
man.
listen to me and Shell.
Yeah.
Chop it up about some topics and play a little bit of music as well.
Just a little bit of music. Somebody told us we're chat.
Yeah, somebody
On
texted
Tuesday.
in on
I was
Tuesday.
like,
They said, you chat way too much. And I'm like,
Way. They tried to call us first, yeah.
You did it.
I was like,
It's Tim West when he's so West is speaking on a bit. I always want to hear the tune. I'll be like Westward.
we don't talk over the tunes.
no.
We don't talk over the tunes.
We're
have segments in
podcasters, isn't it? We're
between.
going to talk with podcasters. On top of that, we're women. So come on, no, you talk. Wait, they tried to call us. They actually tried to call us before they sent the message. Yeah, I was like, so you was actually going to come on the online
Live.
and tell us that? I was like, oh my gosh, But yeah.
Right, Cardo's turn. What's giving you life at the moment,
I
Cardo?
like this song here. It's called "Born Fighter" by Jashi.
Okay.
One fighter.
Yeah.
That sounds positive still.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just going through it, but you just keep finding a way
Pushing
through.
on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just now you decided you're hot, Mr. Champagne.
Yeah.
You need some ice in that champagne glass. I was thinking, when are you going to take off the coat? You just wanted to show off the matching.
No, it's getting hot. It's a hot song, though.
I knew it would be bashment.
Jeez.
The beat's nice though.
Yeah, this is it.
I'm gonna add this to my playlist. Jeez.
These are going in the Grapevine playlist, by the way, guys. So you can find it in the Grapevine playlist on Spotify, available in our link tree on the Grapevine.podcast page.
Yes, go and add us up, guys.
Yes, man. Oh, that's really nice, you know. You guys have
That
given
sounds
us
nice.
a very special episode.
Thank
You
you
really
very
have.
much.
We're really thankful for you coming down today
It's been
And I
lovely.
appreciate
and
it, man.
blessing us with all your gems. And we hope the Grapeviners enjoyed.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it.
I know. It has been fun. So thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Let
thank
them know
you.
your socials again before you go.
Yeah, so me is V Champagne. And I've actually got an announcement. Actually, I've changed something that I'm doing. So, Wealth University. So I've basically been on podcasts, and I've realised that a lot of the information people don't know, and I'm going to simplify it a bit further. So I was going to launch Wealth University on the 14th of May 2023, but I'm going to launch it now in December, because what I'm going to do is on the 14th of May, we're going to do a round where we're going to find people that are talented, and I'm going to mentor a few people, because I've been helping a lot of people previously. I've had 4 people I've helped done really, really well with their careers. So we're going to do a mentorship program on the 14th of May. We're going to find the people, anyone, you can DM me, and then we're going to help you whatever you want to do, and we're going to help you, because I'm a problem solver effectively. I'll just solve people's problems. So basically that's what we're going to do on the 14th of May. And so Wealth University, so we're going to have a performance program on the 14th of May. So you got the first exclusive for you guys.
I like
so we're going to have
that.
that. And my socials is V Champagnes. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube Shorts as well. And I think just watch the videos, because it's educational, but it's very, very true and entertaining. I speak on a different soundbite, obviously, for the new generation. It's just good. We shoot the video. I've got a camera person. I shoot the videos. They're like movies. We have different scripts. We shoot everything. So it's really good. So yeah, and look out for Wealth University. We're coming in the 25th of December. I shot an AI film, talking about corporate game, talking about wealth, how the wealthy operate, motivational, everything, fitness game, every single thing is in an institution that you can go to and make yourself feel better. Make yourself feel special.
Love it.
Well done.
Oh, I like
And
that.
good luck.
That's dope.
It is really dope. It is.
Obviously, I'm your boy, Cardo. They call me the caramel latte.
Boy.
Yeah, so
The sweet flex, yeah. Jesus. I remember the sweet boys back in the day. You was like the original.
oh my days.
It's calm. I was original too. You know?
You can't expect to come out with caramel latte and not get that response.
I know.
Original.
You wasn't gonna get away with that.
But yeah, so obviously you can find me on the socials at KARDO_SG, Cardo_SG. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Follow us at The Great Syndicate on Instagram, TikTok as well. Obviously, like I said, we're a media studio. We also do dry hires, so you could put on your workshops and all these things.
Yeah.
We recently had events like Sip and Paint events and day.
Brilliant.
We've had women empowerment days.
You need to let us know
See, I
about
know.
all these things.
Because that's
So-
just up our alley. We've done a sip and paint before, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, this is it. So I mean, like, we're just out. I mean, this is something recently we started. Like I said, you could catch me on the Talk Your Truth podcast.
Nice. Go check them out.
We're gonna start recording again and
Good.
releasing again.
We were saying this on the right day. We was like, where's that shit?
I found it funny. I like watching you guys.
Yeah. I didn't
even know you
However,
watched.
yeah, I did. You know what I did? I watched after I met you at the live show. Just to see what you're all about. But I was in stitches. I found it like entertaining. However, I did look at the time. I was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
What?
Now, you know what it is? I'll give you the story behind that. Basically, initially we started my friend came up to me, he said, "Oh, I want to do a podcast show," and I was just like, "All right." But he's like, "I want you to host it," and I said, I know we used to me and my friends, we used to meet up every Friday, and like sometimes life's so serious that we used to just link up, drink, and just chat rubbish about literally nonsense situations that we'd probably never go through. But it'd be funny, and then we just back and forth, and he was just like, "Let's put it on camera."
Yeah, why not?
So we gave it a go. We were shooting in our in people like in my friend's living room at the time. And that's what led us to opening the studio.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying. And then
Yeah.
leading to that, we started releasing content, and people started asking, "Were you recording?" But we weren't even renting it out. It was just for us. And then at that time, we started saying, "No, we could like turn it into a business."
Yeah.
So what we did was trying to turn it into a business and shoot at the podcast while understanding business and the effort that it would take into promoting and whatever not. Like, we weren't educated enough on it at the time.
Yeah.
So we pulled back from doing the podcast.
Yeah, that.
Had to build up the business. And now that we're at a point where we think we're comfortable within the business, we're about to bring the content back.
So you heard that first. You're coming back.
So, yeah. And
We're
like I
looking
said,
forward to it, man.
don't come in it. I mean, because you know what it is, I come in here and it's very, nice conversations, deep conversations. And I feel like I appreciate these podcasts because they're informative and whether
You not aren't serious.
Don't come on my podcast. For that. Yeah, no, but what I mean is I can appreciate it and I can participate. But I mean is if that's what you're looking for, that's not what you're gonna get from us. But if you want like a light-hearted, just jokey, whatever, not.
We hear
It's just interactive.
Everybody's different though.
Exactly.
Not all podcasts are the same.
And they're not meant to be. They're not meant to be.
That is the beauty of it.
They're
I
not
just
meant
like to let people know that I say, yo, listen, when you're having you want to laugh, log into us because we are about to talk about some stuff that I've never gone through, but I'm going to strongly tell you my opinion on it, even though I've never been through it. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. So, yeah, but yeah, look out for us. Obviously, when it does get well, I'd like to get you lot down.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
of course.
We'll be down.
So,
Thank you very
most
much,
definitely.
though.
But yes, guys, we've come to the end of another
Yeah,
episode.
I know. I feel like it's gone so quick, but you know, we can't sit here forever. Time is money.
But yes, we will see you again soon.
Thank you, Grapeviners. Please do not forget to like and subscribe,
and all that good
and
stuff.
comment. If there's anything that you want us to discuss in future podcasts, then just
Let us
know.
know.
All right, guys. But thank you for tuning in.
Take care.
Signing out.
Bye.
Bye.